help this project
Yeah, that's right. So
in general.
yeah, that's right. So hi, thank you for coming to Permaculture TV interviews. Could you just introduce yourself and your project?
Hi, my name is Juan Rojas. I'm from El Salvador. I'm here at Klimaforum taking part in the editorial group of the final declaration of the Klimaforum. The reason that I got involved with Klimaforum is because my work in El Salvador is related to permaculture. So permaculture in El Salvador takes shape or takes off after the peace accords took place. That was 1992. So I was exiled in Australia for about 9 years, and in that period of time, I was able to get to know people involved in the environmental movement, defending the Gippsland forest, the rainforest of Tasmania, etc., etc. And also this kind of people who were building up ecological villages. So I became interested in the issue because I thought that was the main and maybe the important thing to learn and to take back to my homeland, because at that time the peace accords were preparing the way for a reconstruction, of a shattered war country. So I, pardon me, I went through courses in temperate climate in Victoria, and then eventually I follow up a subtropical permaculture course in Queensland, and that made me the confidence, gave me the confidence to return to my country and apply permaculture in a tropical region.
Who are your teachers in Australia, the permaculture teachers?
At the beginning, the introduction to permaculture was given by Bill Mollison and some other friends from Melbourne Permaculture Committee or International Committee, and then eventually I went to Crystal Waters to do the subtropical with the Sky and Robin May. Earth Care Solutions, Pty, I think was the name of it. And after that, I arranged my trip back to my country. Yeah, so I landed down in my country, and I joined a network of grassroots communities. While I was in Australia, I met them, and when I came to the country, I started working with them on the agroecology, we call it. So, it wasn't permaculture by itself, because it was really difficult for me to apply permaculture in those early days. What I did is I volunteered with communities working on farming issues and the development issues. So that led me to learn the practices of our communities. Something that was really peculiar is that these communities were indigenous communities, natives. So that for me was also a good experience, because they introduced me to a new paradigm that I wasn't familiar with, in spite that I have Indian blood. However, in order to teach permaculture, I needed to learn first how the farming took place in our country, the culture of the people, the problems of the war, and all these issues that are related to when you are carrying out a project of development. After a while, about 3 years after being trying home gardens and buying land for people and developing these zone and sectors on 5 communities, we did this project together with 5 communities, and free-range chickens. You have to understand that we were sitting in an area, we were located in an area that was shattered by the war, and that those operatives, we call them military operations, the name of them were Scorched Earth Policy. So they really burnt out and cut down any fruit tree. People had to flee and leaving behind their seeds and all these materials needed for farming. So we needed to reintroduce carefully with them, you know, the biodiversity that they had for food. So eventually we devised that there was a methodology, ongoing methodology in the Central American region, especially on those countries that had already settled the troubles, like Nicaragua, Guatemala. Guatemala was still gone, Mexico, Honduras. So there was a farmer to farmer methodology, and that was really good to implement this movement of farmers empowering themselves and passing the teachings horizontally. You know? So that was also very meaningful for them, because it wasn't nothing strange coming from abroad. However, the ideas of permaculture was introduced, blended in that sort of methodology.
Was there much of a similarity between the indigenous paradigm and the permaculture principles? Was there?
Not yet. What I'm talking about is just what we call peasant or farmers in general. Right? So farmer to farmer was conventional to agroecology, transformation, transition. So by 1997, with that methodology, we had to go abroad, I mean, in the same region, not far away, to Guatemala, to Honduras, to Nicaragua, to do this farmers exchange as part of the methodology. In Guatemala, I had the opportunity to meet this group called IHAT. It's an area at the south of Atitlan Lake, and these people had already a food forest based on permaculture. So these people are from Mayan Cachiquel background, and then we started to find out more about the cosmovision and how they deal with the farming. So I think in days that a curiosity started on me that permaculture had a lot to do with cosmovision, because it is based on natural principles. And cosmovision is about spirituality based on natural principles, so natural laws. And so we got together with Ronaldo Lek Ascot, who is also a permaculture teacher, but he lives in Guatemala in the Atitlan Lake shores. And eventually we ran a Central America course to see if we were good teachers and we could captivate the attention of illiterate farmers and all these people who were peasant. So in 1998 we carried on that course in Perkin, El Salvador, and out of that 21 people became from Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, and they were given the first certificate. Out of that group of people, things started to develop in this country. So in Guatemala, a couple of years later, these people were so empowered that they decided to create a form of institution. So we copied the model of Bill Mollison, which is the Permaculture Institute, based in wherever the work is taking place. So that was in 2000, and in 2002, the legal institution was also created in El Salvador, and that is the Permaculture Institute of El Salvador. So the two of those institutions are sisters. And our idea in those days was that we were going to spread permaculture on the region so people would get the taste of it, and they embark upon the same process of our experience, because we have the same cultural conditions, we have the same economic, social, political conditions, so it is easy to spread it in a bioregion that goes from the south of Mexico to the south of Costa Rica. Even we have reached Panama as well. So that was the case with these two institutions were created, and then they took off in each country with a different perspective, approach, but permaculture is the main focus. And finally, but also we enjoy the support of permaculture institutions abroad. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do things like that. For example, Permaculture Latin America that Ali Sharif was the co-founder of that, and some other people in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They were sponsoring the Mesoamerican Permaculture Institute in Guatemala. And in El Salvador, we had the support of the Warrnambool community social justice group in Warrnambool, Melbourne. Warrnambool